Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is not one you will see very often from a Lange Sohne. This is the Saxonia, reference 803.029 in white gold. It has a diamond set bezel and then a diamond paved dial. There's a lot to love here. With sapphire hour markers at 3, 9, and 6 o'clock, it's got a little bit of color too. And it's not too big, something that could be brash and bombastic, even gaudy in a larger size. Feels more natural at the 33.9 millimeter diameter of this watch. It's 9.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 41.5, with an 18 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And I make no bones about it. This watch was designed for female wrists. It's compact and tiny, even by the standards of my smallish 16 centimeter circumference male wrist. Could a male wear it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I do think the intent here was that this would be a lady's watch, as it is significantly smaller even than the little Lange. I would recommend this for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, and it will easily fit underneath a formal cuff or sleeve. The strap is very high quality, extremely large, rectangular, and symmetrical scale alligator leather, black with sort of a semi-gloss finish. There's some bolstering or stuffing to add volume, monotone stitch. We have a folded edge, calfskin on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, brand new Lange factory strap, which ironically for this German watch is made in France. But then again, a lot of this German watch features the signature of foreign makers. Busselador is the maker of this buckle. You can see the little B on there. That's why this has a Swiss hallmark on it. And then the case also features a Swiss hallmark because Lange is not a case maker. Taking a quick look now at the buckle itself, you can see it's got the Lange logo, a little bit of a soft facet on the outside, and then we've got two features I always appreciate. One is this little bar inside. That prevents the pin from getting pinned on your wrist and stuck if you use one of the smallest holes or you punch a smaller hole, so that is there to prevent the watch from getting stuck on your wrist. And then we've got an elevated bridge, so you can see we have the bridge at center is above the flanks of the buckle. And so what happens is the strap sits flat inside the buckle rather than stacking up on the wrist. We are talking about white gold here, and in my opinion, we're looking at rhodium plate because this is more the tone of gray gold. And I think we're looking at rhodium plating here because of the presence of diamonds, which is often the case even when a manufacturer uses gray gold. Oftentimes, it makes sense to rhodium plate so that the watch case is not a different color than the gems. And so you want the whitest of white gold. And with the rhodium plate here, we do appear to get that. Polished lug profile, satin finished mid-case, polished case back, polished bezel lip. You can see we've got a little rectangular pusher with bevels on its outer face here. Polished on its faces. Its outermost aspect has been brushed. We have a Lange branded crown, 30 meters water resistant, so splash and rain exposure only. And you can see that we've got a dial that is made of solid gold with the gems then set on it. And if you look carefully, you could see that they are as symmetrical in size and color and clarity as possible. So carats, color, clarity. And the idea is that we have a perfect match. If you look, we've also got little individual brilliant cut sapphire hour markers. So we have the baguettes at 3 and 6 and 9, and then we also have the intermediates between them. You could miss them. They're not obvious, but they're there. The dial base is made of solid gold, allowing the girdles to be placed around the gems, and this is a very slow-going, handcrafted process. You can see what I mean by the girdles, these little brackets formed by hand out of gold with special hand tools to keep these brilliant cut gems in place. We have white gold alpha style hands, a white gold frame for the date. The watch does feature the famed panorama datum or outsized date, which you can adjust using a little trigger that sits above the crown. And then we've got very little dead angle. So as you start turning the crown, the minute hand moves almost immediately and jumps with alacrity. Out back, some people are going to ask, does it hack? Well, it doesn't have a seconds hand, but it does have a hack function if you want to stop the movement. We're looking at caliber L9413, so L meaning Lange, 94 meaning That is the year they started work on the movement. 1, meaning that was the first movement they started that year, and 3, meaning it's the third revision of this movement. This is a German-made watch, and it even says Glashütte in Saxony. And the movement's made of German silver, which is why it has this sort of champagne hue to it. It's not the rhodium-plated brass of a Swiss movement. And to be honest, even a modern German caliber doesn't need to be made of what's called German silver. This and a couple of design decisions, such as the golden chaton cups fixed by screws, the 3/4 plate, the freehand engraving of the balance cock, it's all designed to tie the aesthetic of these movements back to the historic Lange Sohne, because the Lange, as we know it today, was reestablished in 1990. It is a revival brand. So in order to have that strong tie to history, it was decided to make the movements as close to a historical template as possible. So these little golden cups, they're actually held in place by the screws, because in the 19th century, for example, it was very difficult to press a jewel directly into a bridge or plate, so you'd make a precision golden chaton, which was much easier to manipulate, press the jewel into that, then seat the jewel into the bridge or the plate, and then hold it in place with screws. You can see we have both polished and fired blued screws. We have Streifen, or stripes, across the bridges, 30 jewels, high horology style 5-position adjustment. It's got a 3 Hertz beat rate. It's got a power reserve of 42 hours, manually wound. And you can see that we do have mirror polishing on the cap to the escape wheel. We have the mirror polished swan's neck fine adjustment mechanism. You could see that we do have freehand engraving on the balance cock, so no two are exactly alike. And although there are not a lot of bridges, you can see where we have them. We do have a mirrored anglage with engine turning or perlage on the base plate. And the little substructures are treated with love and respect. If you look under the balance, hard to do with the autofocus, but you can see that there's a separate bridge for the anchor, and that bridge is snailed and beveled. Attention to detail on a substructure that I deeply respect. So this is a fantastic watch. You can see the unique click on the barrel through that little window. It's a beautiful watch and a great way for a woman who wants something with great horological credibility and a super premium brand to get into watchmaking without having to opt for a Lady Datejust or some tiny Calatrava or a predictable 30 to 36 millimeter Royal Oak. This is something that's very different. Even among Lange enthusiasts, it is uncommon to find one of these solid gold dial diamond paved Saxonia 34s. So reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.